Coming up on the Together for Good podcast, I'm sitting down with two members of Gen Z, and we're going to talk about what it's like to be a person of faith in high school and in college. And they're going to ask me questions and make fun of me. It's going to be great. Here we go. Welcome to the Together for Good podcast, a podcast created by Bethany Lutheran Church in Cherry Hills Village, Colorado, and hosted by me, Pastor Nate Preisinger. On Together for Good, our goal is to provide practical, engaging content that supports you without expectations. Whether you're feeling disconnected from traditional religion or simply exploring what faith means in your life, we're here to walk alongside you. No matter where you are on your journey of faith, we're glad you're here. Welcome to Together for Good. All right, well, welcome to the podcast studio, Addison Dragstaff and Sophie Lee.
Hello.
I got to know both of you quite well last year when I was leading high school youth group, but since then, Sophie, you have left us. Yeah. And you tell the listeners where you're going to school right now.
I go to Virginia Tech right now, and I am studying aerospace engineering.
Very good. And you just completed your first semester.
Yes.
And Addison, you are a high school...
Sophomore.
I was going to say junior, but you're sophomore. Okay. At what high school?
At Prairie View High School.
Prairie View High School up in Commerce City area.
Yeah, Brighton, Commerce, all of the... I'm in Brighton, Henderson, and Commerce City. I'm in all three of them.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, and one of the things that I've learned is you both have been on the podcast before. We knew that. You were on the Thanksgiving episode we did 2 years ago. Sophie, since going to college, has discovered how important this is to one's faith life. Addison, are you a regular listener of the podcast?
I am not, but I mean, I'll start.
Yeah, absolutely. Now that you're on it.
Yeah.
Let's start with you though, Sophie. Talk to me about the difference that you've noticed, just in general, not just as a person of faith, but going into college. That's a huge step. You moved really far away from home. Mm-hmm. How's it been?
It was really nerve-wracking at first, but I feel I wasn't that impacted by it because I wanted to go that far away. Like, I was fully prepared for the change. Nobody told my mom this, but I cried for 5 minutes after she left, and then I was like, all right.
I got this.
Let's go out. I was just so excited, but it definitely was a huge step up socially. I wasn't surrounded by people I've known my whole life. It's like totally new people. And I actually met my friend group literally the first night out on the street downtown.
Nice.
And I was honestly worried about having to make new friends because I haven't had to do that in a really long time.
No kidding.
Yeah. But it actually was really easy because for me in my high school, which was really cliquey, it was hard to make new friends once the years are gone on because everyone's already got their group. But it's definitely, and you'll probably experience this too when you go to college, when you meet new people, everyone wants the same thing. Everyone wants to make friends. So it's really...
Yeah, that's such a good way of putting it because everyone's in the same boat of they left their family, their friends, their cliques.
Yeah.
And now they're starting over. Have you noticed though, I mean, Virginia Tech is, what town is it in again? Blacksburg, Virginia. So this is like central West Virginia, yes?
If you drew a line around Blacksburg and called it West Virginia, you wouldn't know. Like, it's basically West Virginia.
Yeah. And that's a little different than Denver, Colorado.
Very.
Tell us what you can tell us about what you've noticed in terms of, because you're meeting people who were brought up in very different ways, in very different communities, families. Have you noticed anything like that?
My friends are all from kind of the same type of thing as me, the suburbs. I've got a friend who's from Staten Island, friend from Boston, New Jersey. All my friends are from the East Coast, which has been
I'm so sorry. I'm from the East Coast. I can say that. I'm from the East Coast.
And then I have three friends who are all from Virginia, but I feel like we all kind of had this, I don't know. None of my friends are farmers, I guess. No one grew up really secluded from other people.
Gotcha.
Even though Blacksburg is definitely like that, like you leave Blacksburg and you are in the woods. Mm-hmm. And it's honestly kind of scary because it's just dark. Yeah. Everywhere. The stars are really pretty. It's really beautiful. Actually, I wasn't expecting to love Virginia so much, but it's genuinely gorgeous. But
it's a really pretty state. Yes. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. It is so different.
It's funny. I mean, so my story, I grew up in New York, and the story I always like to tell is that my parents were both from the Midwest. And so I was the nicest kid in my high school because I had my parents raising me who are like, you will be polite and you'll be kind and you will listen. And then I went to college in Minnesota in the Midwest. And everyone thought I was so mean and sarcastic because I had enough New York in me. And they're like, why are you so sarcastic? Like, that's what you do. Come on. It was a real culture shock for me.
Yeah.
A lot of the friends that I made early on in college did not end up staying my friends because it was such a difference. But Addison, you've been quiet. Did you continue on from middle school into high school with most of the same friend group, or was it a big change?
Basically, yeah, but our school, like the schools in our district, you opt in. So
Right.
people would go to like Riverdale, which has honestly a lot better of a lot of things, athletics, but our school is terrible in athletics.
Okay.
Our football team went 0-10 this year, and
Shout out.
shout out Prairie View football.
Jeez. Okay.
But we have like one good sports team, but I feel like a lot of people opt into Riverdale because you go and you can get easier scholarships because more people are scouting you out there. But I went from middle school. I didn't go to the middle school I was supposed to go to. So all of my friends ended up going to Lutheran schools for some reason. And so I went with my best friend and I both went to Prairie View, but I had to make all new friends because I didn't have anybody. There was people that went, but I didn't talk to them. So
I'm remembering that. Okay, I wasn't positive about it, but you did go through like a real big friend shift moving from middle school to high school. I feel like you said like your friend group shifted.
yeah.
Yeah.
because in middle school, I went to high school with my friend group in 8th grade, but I don't talk to them anymore because they all went to their own friend groups. So it's just me and my best friend have stuck since like 4th grade. So, it would have been weird if she went to opt into another school, but she stayed with me. She already was on the softball team in like 8th grade. So,
Is the softball team going 0-10 as well?
No, they went like 6 in however many other games you play. It's not a great sight, but Alex is good, but she tore her
There's
meniscus.
more to high school than sports.
Oh, I know, but I kind of like the sports.
My high school randomly decided to be good the year after I leave.
Yeah,
Who's you?
that's normally how it goes.
So amazing about it.
Talk to me about like in this relation to friend group, because that is such an important part of growing up. Is like finding your people.
Yeah.
And it is constantly shifting. Like even from middle school to high school, there's just a shift that happens as you get into a new space and like new people. And then it's a huge shift heading off to college where it's like everybody's new. I mean, what have you found helpful, or like what is it that helps create those friend connections for you? Because it's probably different for each of you.
Yeah.
But like what was it about those people you met the first night out that just stuck together?
Well, I think this is actually a very funny story. It was everyone first night out is a big thing in college, and it's like everyone goes to the bar for the first time. And I was with my roommate, and it's been 4 months. I'm not really that close with my roommate, but just because it was the first night we went out, and then we met. There's 5 girls, and we were all talking about how do we get in there? Like we don't know. And we're like, all right, we're gonna figure something out. And then we walked away. And we spent the rest of the night together. And then I texted them the next night because they were the only people who I had met and got contact information for. I was like, are you guys going out again? Can I come with you? And they were, and it's been like that. Literally, I feel like I clicked really easily with my friend Katie. She's just literally like a copy of me. We're both very social. It wasn't hard at all to become friends with her. And then she introduced me to her roommate and then her neighbors who are roommates. And then now we're all friends.
What about you, Addison?
Disconnecting with people.
And but why do you connect with some people and not others?
Well, I'm a social person, and some people aren't social people.
But some people are social people and it's really annoying.
I know. So I have learned that in my classes, for me, it's really easy to tell who's social and who's not social.
Sure.
Some people are like academically social, and some people are like actually social. So
Yeah.
there's people who talk in class and don't talk outside of class. And so I have learned that I'm basically friends with everybody, but there's people who
But there's probably people you don't want to be friends
I
with.
know,
But they like you because they're like, oh, Addison's nice. And
yeah, I'm able to talk to them, but it's not always a great conversation or a conversation that I would like to be involved with or spend my spare time talking
no kidding.
about.
What I found is that I think with people, I'm really social as well. And there's like just sometimes where I can tell that this is a person who I can talk about deeper things with.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's a level of vulnerability. And those, when I think about my best friends, it's the people who I'm like, hey, I'm having a hard time.
Yeah.
This is weird. What do you think about this? And then there's the people who I just know on the surface. It's like, hey, neighbor, like, can I borrow some butter? Little things like that, which is great, but I'm not. And I can never put my finger on exactly why, but you just sort of can intuitively tell. It's like, oh, like, I'm I'm not going to talk to my neighbor Bruce about
Yeah.
this hard time that I'm going through or anything else like that. And it's nothing against Bruce, but it's just like we don't click in that way.
Yeah, I feel like that's how it is with a lot of my friends because I have like 3 friends that I'm willing to tell anything to, and the rest of my friends are kind of like, "Hey, how's your day going? Like, do you understand what's happening?" Or like, "What's new?" But it's not like a deeper connection. There's some people that just can't connect that way. And
Right.
I am not very open, but more on like a regular conversation.
Sure.
Like, I'm not going to get super deep with them if I don't have that trust with them. So I open up to like 3 people, and that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to open up to more people than that, probably.
Well, also, because I've learned in the past few months that like when I tell someone, it's gonna get out. And like,
I'd rather be on that.
No, but Sophie, what do you have any sense of like what it is, where you can, what makes it so that it's a person you can connect with on a deeper level, or is this not something you're concerned with, or?
I just feel like it's this weird, I don't know, there's no way to describe it. It's just like the feeling you have when you meet someone. I think human beings like pick people that are familiar to them. And so a lot of my friends are they remind me of my mom a lot. They're very social. I'm just more drawn to that. Like I've met some people who I tried to talk to, but it was just so dry. And no matter how enthusiastic I tried to be, it just wasn't going anywhere. I'm like, all right, so I'm not going to see you tomorrow. Yeah, I think it's just a feeling. I don't think there's any, when I choose my friends, it's based on who I get along with. Because I definitely, and especially in high school, I was friendly. I was friends, acquaintances with almost everybody. I had no problems with anybody. Everyone knew who I was.
Yeah.
I just didn't feel like there was anything more there other than just we're classmates and I can.
So to that point, are there high school friends you're going to get together with now that you're home for Christmas for a little
my
bit?
2 best friends. Because the other ones I kind of dropped after graduation.
Yeah.
It was like a mutual dropping.
Yeah, they dropped you too, right? Like it's just like this was for a time period, and if we don't have a class together, we're not going to hang
Senior
out.
is just one of those things where by the end of high school, you're done with your friends. And you might experience this too, but it's everyone just stays friends with their friends because they want people to do senior activities with. They don't want to be alone for the rest of the year. And then they have summer, but once you go to college and you meet new people, you're like, these people are so much better than everyone I went to high school with. like seriously.
Yeah.
Have you, in talking with your high school friends, do they feel the same way?
Yes, absolutely. My friends all want to go back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
What do you think what is that about? Do you have any sense of what it makes, why college? Is it the novelty maybe at first of like, oh, these are new people?
Yeah, it's a fresh start. They don't know anything about you. I know people that I tried to be friends with in high school who were holding grudges against me from 7th grade.
Yeah.
There's this girl who I know that still dislikes me because I yelled at her one time during a soccer game freshman year. And I'm like, weird that you're still holding on to that. But it's like when you go to college, none of these people know anything about you. But I mean, part of it is also you have to trust that they're good people, but you learn that eventually. But it's like at first, they don't have a reason not to be friends with you.
Yeah.
You know?
So with all this, right? Like I wanted to go this angle because it is interesting how we develop friendships. Like you just know there's a deeper level to it. And I'm curious, and you don't have to play to the crowd. Do you think faith plays into that at all? Because I'm guessing you have friends who are people of faith, and I'm guessing you have friends who are not.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
The biggest thing for me is that if they find out that you're religious in any way and they have a problem with it, those people aren't your friends. Because they should
Exactly how that is.
Because if there is a difference between being religious, all my friends know I am, but I don't talk to them about it because I know they aren't.
Yeah.
And I think that's what keeps a friendship going between a non-religious person and a religious person is that someone will inevitably get upset at you if you try to like push it on them.
Totally.
And I think, but if you do meet people who don't want to affiliate with you because of your religion, regardless of how much you talk about it, then fine, don't be friends with me. Like,
it's funny too because there are the people. They don't tend to be Lutheran, but who are like all gung ho about being very religious and making sure everyone knows it, and it's almost performative.
Yes.
And they want everyone. Yeah, like that's their identity. And then there's a whole bunch of other people who really care about this, but maybe never even really talk about it. And you're like, often, at least for me, I remember I'd be surprised. I'm like, oh, like I didn't know that you cared about this too. Anyways, what were you going to say? Just as you think about this.
It's kind of like what Sophie said. I had friends that they found out that I was Christian because I don't make it my whole life. I go to church and that's when I talk about it, but I have conversations with people that I know are religious, but at the same time, I had this one friend in freshman year and I was friends with her. And I showed her something on my phone and it was like a wallpaper. And she's like, why are you showing me that? I guess I never asked about it, but she said it in such a way that was like, there was no.
It was so judgmental.
When someone saw my wallpaper and they were like,
Yeah. And
What does it say?
it is Matthew 19:26.
Nice.
on my phone, I have a widget that's a Bible verse of the day. And they saw that and they're like, you're so disrespectful. And I was like, I'm not.
My phone.
It's my phone and my beliefs. And
Yeah.
people take that in such a wrong way. I am not forcing anything on you. I never tried to force you to make your wallpaper a Bible verse or anything. And even
Yeah.
if they're not religious, people still get upset over that, which I don't really understand because I'm not forcing anything onto you. I literally showed you my wallpaper on my phone.
Yeah, and on the flip side of that, my roommate actually is honestly probably more Christian than me. She's very, very, very outspoken about it. She's got like 2 Bibles on her nightstand and then another book that's like God's Promises, I think, something like that. And she has a bunch of cross necklaces. And I didn't even have to tell her that I was religious. She just saw on my whiteboard I have a sticker that's Jesus heart you. And we never talked about it. And then she one day invited me to go to youth group, and I wasn't able to go. Because unfortunately they meet when I have class, or at least last semester they did. But we never talk about it, even if we're not friends. She's just there, but we both acknowledge that we are Christian. But I've never talked about it to her.
Would you want to talk about it?
Maybe I don't actually even know what like denomination,
Yeah.
to be honest. And I don't think I would talk about it with her because she doesn't really bring it up either. It's a mutual we're not going to talk about it thing.
This is something we both care about, but we will not discuss.
Yeah.
Why, for both of you though, why are you religious?
I mean, my dad was a youth director, so I guess I grew up in it, but I had a choice if I wanted to be Christian or not. And
Your dad would never force you to do this.
No,
I know
so-
him, yeah.
I guess just it wasn't even the religious part. It wasn't even really the God part, but it was the community that I built within the church. Because the community wanted me to stay.
Yeah.
And even though I never said I have a choice from whether I want to be religious, because some people don't have a choice and that's forced on them from when they're born.
Yeah.
And so when I'm given the choice, I still choose to come back because I've not only realized how much God is there even when you don't know, but I've also realized how much the community means to me and how much these interactions and connections help me grow my faith.
Yeah.
And so it's not even growing my faith, but I look forward to coming to church for the people that I see and the people that I talk to. And I mean,
It's funny. I mean, talking about friendship earlier, there's something about oftentimes, not always, but some of the friends you make at church just feel like that connection actually happens better, or it's a more real connection.
yeah, and maybe that's because we see each other once or twice a week.
Fair.
And so we get a break
Can't
from
annoy
each
each
other.
other.
But even when we were in Ecuador, we just connected so well. And even Emmy, she's never been involved in our youth group, but we all
That was squad.
connected. And it was the first day where we all got super close. And
Tell me more about that? We should have mentioned it. Both of you were on the Ecuador trip last summer. And what was it that brought you all together so quickly, do you think?
I think it's because, well, one, we realized that we were going to be stuck with each other for a week.
This is
9
as
days,
good as you
yeah.
get. Yeah.
That was
The
one.
other people were all adults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not just adults, but like elderly.
Yeah. So
Like, I just saw like, I had some good conversations with some people, but I think for the most part, especially, we had a lot of fun nights when we would just play cards and we watched Coco. And that was
nice.
Yeah.
like the best night ever.
What cards did you play? What'd you play?
Just spoons. We were just playing spoons.
Good one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we all played spoons and I lost every single.
I mean, you had a good. Those are cool people, though,
Yeah,
because
I
it's
feel
you
like
two. It was Beckett
And Emmy.
and Emmy,
and
and then Matt Payne, right?
And Matt. And
Yeah, like
I
that's-
just felt like we all just mashed together. Like we have similar personalities. We're all super social, not afraid to say anything. We didn't have the quiet person. I don't even think, the elderly were obviously. The older people were.
Let's not call them the elderly.
Well,
They
'cause
might listen to this.
we went. I'm sorry. I
don't know their ages. Above retired, older than retired.
Yeah.
But like Dick and Sandy, 80, 85 years old.
I know,
like,
so cool.
They told us their marriage story, and that was
really
the
funny.
Funniest experience.
We all
ever.
dinners. We all just talked. We were never really on our phones. In the car rides, that was different. We went to the Otavalo like outside market. We did not touch our phones. I don't think once.
Did you all have any really deep conversations? You don't have to share anything here.
I mean, me and Matt had a really deep conversation, and you know, it was. I mean, me and his they were laying on the grass, I think, or the fake grass
was there.
in the yeah. But it was the last night, and we just like needed a deep conversation.
Yeah.
And so we had the deep conversation, and I mean,
love it.
Yeah, I don't feel like we had a group very deep discussion though.
What about in college? This is what I remember about college is that randomly you have those like staying up super late, later than you want to, talking about things. Does that happen yet?
Not anything like super existential or anything. Sometimes we like to share our childhood stories or stuff from our hometown. I know everything about my friend Katie's friends, and I've never met these people. We just share our memories. I don't think we've ever talked about anything really, unless it was politics. We've done that a couple times.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
Nothing more than that, though.
That's got to be interesting. Well, I think too, so one of the things that I find interesting related to this, what is it about? Oh, hang on, pause. You never said why you're religious.
No, I didn't. I was about to say, what's the, when were we going back to that?
Yeah.
I agree with Addie. It's a huge part of his community. It definitely, I mean, I was baptized here when I was 9 months old. So I've literally been here my entire life, and my mom raised me in the church. And I think I went through a period of my life, specifically middle school, when I was very like withdrawn. But I think Wednesday nights were really what brought me back a lot. And also we're more to the level of religious I am now. Definitely senior year, I was going through a really hard time. And Wednesday nights kind of literally saved my life. So
I think, I mean, Wednesday nights brought me back. After my mom passed everything, I didn't have faith. And so when I came to Wednesdays, that community brought me back. And it's not like we did technically Bible studies.
I know, right?
But even just the people that I was able to connect with again.
I think about it too, because those Wednesday nights, you're right. Like it's not a super intensive Bible study. We'll have some sort of topic that we never stick to. And we end in high-low God moment prayer. I feel like that was the most important piece that gives it this spiritual bent to it. But other than that, it's just sort of people being together and caring about each other. What are you going to say?
I think that for people our age, high school is a really important time in your development of literally everything. It's much easier to feel connected to your faith life when you're making looser connections from like the Bible to life instead of just straight up reading the Bible and explaining what it means. Being able to connect different parts of that to things that are going on in your life, it makes it feel more personal. And I think that was really helpful, at least for me.
And you felt like that's what happened on Wednesday nights to some level.
Yeah, because we really didn't do any deep Bible study. It wasn't just let's hang out Wednesday night and like highs and lows and drink Dr. Pepper and sit on the couch kind of thing. Like there was way more to it.
And it wasn't even that like...
I have really bad memory, so I can't give you any examples, but I know that it happened.
But you were there every week, Sophie, and you drove the longest.
Yes,
right? Like you were there every week.
I was legitimately upset when there were a couple times that I didn't hear that it got canceled, so I came here anyways. And I sat in the parking lot, why are there no cars? And then I would be upset. Not that I drove out here, because I don't have any problem with that. I'm just like, darn it. Now
I wanted this,
now I have to go home and actually do homework.
I had golf for the past few months, and I felt like the farthest away because I couldn't come. Practice started at 5. It didn't end until 7. And youth group gets over, and I had people telling me that I should still come to youth, and I'm like,
How are you getting there?
I live an hour away. So, and that's with traffic, and I either have to go through Denver or Aurora, and that's not always fun. And so,
and you can't even drive, so like someone else has to be doing that for you.
I can't drive. My dad would already be down here. I had to find a ride to practice on Wednesdays, but I felt so far away because I couldn't come. And it really sucked. I mean, I loved golf, but youth group is the thing I look forward to every week, and it's in the middle of the week, so I get done with my worst 2 days and then have youth group, and then I'm fine for the next 2 days. But it's because...
And then it's the weekend.
Yeah.
What do you think is the most important piece of the youth group, since you're both mentioning that? I mean, we're kind of dancing around it, but I kind of want to hear you name it. And this is also just for my own research and planning purposes moving forward.
Community.
Just getting the people together.
Yeah.
I feel like, well, that part and the games connect people and the conversations connect people. And I feel like even if it's not that deep of a conversation, we're all still involved.
Human beings since literally the dawn of time. It's like
Yeah.
we're social. We're supposed to be.
Yeah.
You can be an introvert, but at the end of the day, you're a human being, and we're supposed to be social. Whole families used to live together in their houses, and everyone would hang out. And it's like every society was just built that way, and it's
Yeah.
become harder in modern times because jobs and distance and stuff like that. But when you're our age, and it's nice when you don't have to rely on someone to bring you here because it's your choice to show up.
Yeah.
But it's nice having a place for people our age to come together and talk about our faith because
Yeah.
I literally knew one person from my high school that was also religious, and he was not a nice person.
So, but here's what I'm also curious about, Sophie. I mean, clearly I think you were the one that told me this over Thanksgiving. You're like, hey, I started listening to the podcast.
Yes.
Because you were missing some of this connection somehow.
Yes.
Right. And is that still kind of the case at school? You're still trying to find, and do you even know, could you put your finger on what you're looking for exactly?
I guess just well, first of all, we have a chapel on campus, and it's the Lutheran chapel. So I thought I went one time, and it was kind of weird. And I was like, I don't feel welcome here, which is kind of weird. I've never experienced that in a place of worship. I feel like that's not what it should be, but it did feel like that. And I kind of haven't gone back since. And that's the only Lutheran church in Blacksburg. They've got everything but that.
Do you remember who the pastor was?
No.
Okay. I think it might be my friend. I need to look this up.
Really? That would be really crazy. No, yeah. And none of my close friends have really ever talked about faith before. So I feel like what I was looking for most was a way to just like a connection back here.
Yeah.
Because I love this place so much.
And it's such a part. Yeah. This is the only church you've known.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I'm glad you found it. One of the things I'll say, just kind of related to all this, I'm always so afraid when I meet new people and they ask me what do you do for a living? Because that's what adults ask each other.
Yeah.
And then I'm always like, okay, I have to tell them that I'm a pastor, and I have no idea how they're going to hear that or react to it.
Yeah.
But I can't like lie about this. And the most gracious response anyone ever gave me, we had just met our neighbors. And I told my dear friend Heidi, and I'm like, yeah, I'm a pastor. And she's like, oh, that means you're a deep thinker. And I really appreciated that. And I feel like as people of faith, that's part of what we're talking about here. There's people who are willing to think and talk about the mysteries of the universe and why are we here and what does it mean to be human, and is there a higher power kind of directing or caring for us or helping us through hard times and all of this. How does that resonate with you?
When people find out that I'm a Christian, I'm in a denomination instead of a non-denominational Christian. I feel like I get different reactions from it because my best friend is Lutheran and part of the ELCA, and we have the same exact beliefs, and I feel like that's why we connect so well. But other people, they can be a lot more strict, and I feel like when they hear that we're welcoming to everybody, they kind of get thrown off by that. I don't really understand how that's a big problem, but to some people it's a big problem, and I have had to learn to work around that because people make my religion how they treat me. And being Christian, there's a lot of things that play into that. And so when I get mixed reactions and people are mad at what I believe in, whatever, it does not make sense to me because I've always learned that no matter what, that's what they learn and that's what they believe, and that's not something that I should be on them about. So, but I also get reactions that are like, oh, that's amazing. My golf coach, super Christian, but golf coach. I also like TA for her class, so I'm super close with her, and she's a different. I don't know what denomination she is, but we definitely have different opinions. But
it's right, like what I hear in a lot of what you're saying too is the different denominations and how confusing that can be, and it's like which is the right one and blah blah blah. But isn't it just like another form of cliques?
Yeah.
So I know mine's definitely the good one. Definitely like mine's the good one, and we got to look down on everybody else.
groups.
What's that?
This is why our society has issues.
Yeah, well, yeah, because we just love to be in the in-group, but the only way to create an in-group is to create out-groups at the same time.
Yeah.
And especially with people who aren't the same religion as me, I feel like we almost click better because I can learn more about them and learn.
Yeah.
Instead of just hearing all about what I believe, it's fun and interesting to hear about what other people believe and what they do.
I totally agree. And I feel like we have so much, you can learn so much about your own faith.
Yeah.
By hearing about somebody else's. Not to say that you're going to. So the example I like to use, my brother-in-law is Muslim. He grew up in West Africa, and he married my sister-in-law, blah, blah, blah. They met through Peace Corps. And so he's a practicing Muslim. He didn't know any of this to do. So how does that work? Okay.
Well,
my wife's sister
Oh, okay.
The link dynamic.
is married to Mamadou, who's from Senegal, West Africa.
Okay, that makes a lot. I thought you meant like.
And so he grew up, Senegal's a Muslim country. He grew up in Senegal, grew up Muslim. But it's been so interesting just seeing him. We're at family gatherings, whatever. And he's like, I have to go pray. Because they go and they pray 5 times a day.
Yeah.
Every day, no matter what. And it's just like, oh, seeing him do that, I'm like, yeah, why don't I pray more often? That moment, it's not that I'm converting, but I'm learning so much about how to be a better Christian by watching him practice his faith and learning like some of the nuances of his faith, which is just really cool.
Shared practice of at least believing in God.
Yeah.
It's like you don't have to have the same prophet. It's essentially, it's all like technically the same thing, just.
It's a practice of spirituality. And it's like exercise.
Right.
Like some people like to run and some people like to lift and some people like to do yoga. And it's like, do you, right? Like exercise is good. And I don't know.
Yeah.
Any final points that you want our listeners to hear as they think about, like what it's like to have faith in high school or in college right now? Go ahead.
Well, I was going to actually touch back on when you asked me like why I'm Christian. I think a huge part, especially becoming a Boy Scout, and I'm an Eagle Scout, so I've had to do so much service work.
Yeah.
And to me, it's now tied to my faith. And part of why I loved Ecuador so much, I truly miss it every single day. And I want to like either go back or do something similar. I love service work. And I think that that's a really powerful way for me to stay connected. And you say this a lot during offering like tying your life of generosity to your life of faith.
Yeah.
And I think that obviously they don't have to go hand in hand. A lot of people, do great service work and aren't religious at all. But for me, it's like a boost in a way. I don't know. It makes me feel better about myself. It makes me feel full and like I'm doing something worthwhile with my life.
So well said. Yeah. Makes you feel full. And it does. And it feels like faith is not just an idea, but it's something that is really meaningful and holistic.
Yeah.
ahead.
I just feel like Ecuador changed my perspective almost completely. And I feel like that's what you need sometimes. Because Ecuador showed me that not everybody believes in the same thing and not everybody has the same beliefs as you, but they still are so welcoming. Like, we had a huge language barrier.
Sure.
Enormous. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was. So I have taken Spanish, but I just got out of Spanish 1. Beckett,
Spanish.
and we learned that. And so when I tried to say something in Spanish, they'd be like, what are you talking about? And so that was a big change, but also it grew me in faith because we had a language barrier, we still connected with like noises, I guess. Facial expressions.
Yeah.
Well, that was with in the villages. I remember really vividly when we were in town. I was with Matt and Beckett, and we went to a chicken shop to get dinner because I was like, oh, fried chicken. That sounds so American. Really love that. And we went in there, and they speak Spanish in the cities, and I don't speak Spanish. Matt doesn't speak Spanish, so Beckett was our translator.
Yeah.
And I'm like struggling to repeat what he said, and the woman like heard his name and like his English name was like, what? And he had to like write it out. And then she was like anticipating. It was this whole funny thing. Like she heard me say my name and I said Sophia, just make it easier for her. She's like, oh, I know that one. And then Matt, and she's like, well, that's just Matt. Like, and that was really funny. We were just laughing with each other. I don't know how, they were clearly young. So they might not have been much older than us, but no matter how like I couldn't speak any of their language. The people in the restaurant were like staring at us because we're like having this really funny interaction with them. They weren't annoyed with us at all. They were entertained.
Yeah, it was so weird at some points because you feel like you always have to communicate with words, but you honestly didn't.
Well, yeah, just noticing the human connection.
Yes.
That can still happen despite the language barrier.
Yeah.
And it's funny how that's sort of this theme that we've been circling around this whole conversation. It's just like the importance of friends and finding your people and the ways that you kept saying it, Sophie, of that this is how cultures have always worked. It's like you just have to be in relationship with people.
Yeah.
And right, as a person of faith, I see it as like God created us for interaction and connection, not to be in isolation. And you know, so many of the stories of the Bible, that's what it's about.
You like share the word of God if you don't have a relationship with someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that this is just like, in order to have a meaningful, fulfilling life, it has to include other people. It has to. Any closing thoughts for our listeners that you want to make sure they know?
Drop those friends that are haters.
Be involved. Go on mission trips. It'll change your perspective.
Don't let people, when you say mission trip, don't let people be like, oh, you're like colonizing people. I'm like, we're not. No.
Yeah, no, we're hanging out.
We're helping.
Yeah, go to youth group, even if it might not be what you want to do or where you want to go at some point. It's gonna
You need the community. Yeah.
And school can be toxic, and so coming from toxic and then to that like fresh breath of air when you come to youth group, it's grows in faith
Yeah.
like crazy.
Yeah. Just to have a place to belong.
Yeah.
People to be with. Thank you both. It's been super fun getting to know the two of you over the last 2 years, like sincerely. Again, I just love that you'd both be willing to come in and record this on your winter breaks. Yeah. Let's do it again. All right. Mark it down.
Happily.
Mark it down. Hey, and you, dear listener, thanks for listening. Share this with family and friends who might want to hear it. As always, stay in peace. Thank you for listening to the Together for Good podcast. If you'd like more resources for your walk of faith, please visit our website, bethany-denver.org, or download our mobile app by searching Bethany Connect in your phone's app store.